Hello out there, everybody. Manny here at Area 503. And I hope you all have been well since our last video.
Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about triangle UFOs. But first, let me ask you a quick question. Do y'all remember 1997? I do. A plucky young couple made a splash on the silver screen. Another plucky young couple first appeared on the pages of a book.
Kill them! Kill them all!
And yet another plucky couple was smashing bugs on the planet Clandathu. And on March 13th, 1997, a series of strange lights appeared over Phoenix, Arizona. They were sighted by thousands of witnesses. They were never identified. And they would later become known as the Phoenix Lights.
Even our past former governor, Symington, who mocked the sighting in '97, came forward after the 10th anniversary to reveal bravely that he actually saw one of these mile-wide craft and larger, and that it was otherworldly. And he's a pilot, an award-winning Air Force officer, and many, many people saw this. It was massive, and the technology was far advanced.
Ever since the well-documented Phoenix Lights incident, triangle-shaped UFOs have been reported all over the world. Now, I'm probably not telling you anything new here. And the only reason I bring it up is because there was a recent sighting over in California that was pretty interesting. Let's take a look at it. June 15th, 8:22 p.m., and this UFO is first spotted hovering high in the clouds.
Where is it? It's right there on the cloud.
I honestly didn't think much of this sighting at first, but it gets more interesting as it progresses. Just watch and see. But for now, all that we can tell is that something is there, and it appears to be just hovering in place, and it's got a kind of triangular shape, and it appears to be reflecting sunlight.
So weird.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, and it's gonna get a lot weirder, because this UFO hung around for another 10 minutes or so. Here's video from 8:32 p.m.
Alright. Hold on. There it is. What is that thing?
Dad, this is it towards the nighttime. It looks just like that. Look at your phone.
I know.
Look at that one. It's in the... That's creepy.
You said it, kiddo. That thing is creepy. Why would this thing, whatever it is, just be hovering there? What is it doing? And what kind of craft is able to just hover there like that anyways? I don't know, I'm kind of at a loss here. Let's keep looking at it. This thing is hanging around for a long time. It's here 10 minutes later, so it's been around for a good 20 minutes so far.
Oh, I got the goosebumps.
What is that thing? It just keeps hovering like that. And it got further away from us. Look at it.
Oh shoot, it got brighter.
We're still not getting any clear enough shots of this UFO to identify it, but you can see the general triangle shape. We're still no closer to identifying what this UFO is, but at least the witness can show us that it's staying around for quite some time. It's been here for 20 minutes already, and the witness also said that whatever this thing is, they felt like it just didn't belong there, hovering over their city like that. And I, for one, agree with them. If this thing was hovering over Portland, I'd be calling the FAA, NORAD, Batman, and Spiderman.
Batman! Oh, come on!
See, I'm not worried about UFOs or aliens in Portland because we've got plenty of superheroes to protect us. Maybe we could send a couple of them down to California to keep a lookout. Anyhow, that strange UFO wasn't done with whatever it was doing. Because here we are over a half an hour later at 9:11 p.m. and the little bugger is back. Or is it? It looks a little different this time.
Okay, I'm recording this. It keeps going up. Oh yeah, it's totally going up. Look at that. I'm gonna get underneath the beam.
Alright, sorry.
So this time, the witness says that the UFO is moving upwards. And at this point, the UFO doesn't look like a triangle at all. But it does look like a military flare. The only thing is, military flares should descend, and they shouldn't move upwards at all. Unless there's some kind of parachute flare maybe that got caught in the wind, but that's not likely. I really don't think this is a flare, because if it was, where's the aircraft that dropped it? These witnesses filmed for an additional 40 minutes before they finally caught this UFO again, and what they captured on film is gonna startle you guys. You're not gonna believe this. Check this footage out.
Ray! What? I got it on my phone. I got it on my phone.
She got it on the phone.
Oh my god, is that video?
Yeah.
Ray, zoom in. Like, use your fingers.
Oh, no way.
Oh.
No way!
Yeah, I'm every bit excited as those witnesses. Check that baby out. This is clearly some form of triangle or chevron-shaped UFO. And look at the center front. There's a faint light glow like there's another light source on the nose section of this UFO. What the hell is this thing? My first impression is that it's not of our world, because it's not shaped like any known aircraft and it's certainly not behaving like one. I mean, I can't think of any aircraft that can hover like this for hours that's shaped like a wedge. And I think that we can assume that this is a single aircraft and not a fleet of smaller aircraft just because it's able to hold its formation so perfectly. But before I go screaming aliens or TR3B like some other unscrupulous YouTube channel might do, let's take a look at some other possible earthly explanations. Whenever you see a large wedge-shaped UFO, you always have to wonder if it's a B-2 Spirit or a stealth bomber. These bombers are massive, but as you notice here, the B-2 Spirit has less lights on it and the wingtips flash. And of course, the B-2 Spirit is incapable of hovering for any length of time, let alone for a couple hours. So I think we can safely rule out the stealth bomber here. There is another possibility here. It could be a completely different type of secret aircraft known as the SR91 Aurora. Very little is known about the SR91, except for that it was rumored to have been spotted over Kansas and Amarillo, Tejas, or Amarillo, Texas, back in 2014.
1-0.
What's that in the sky over West Texas? What's that in the sky over Kansas?
That is the strangest thing I've seen as far as aviation.
3-1. Flat runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Every day at an airport restaurant in Amarillo, a motley crew of airplane buffs sits down and looks up.
They are aviation junkies. They love it.
and they see things you can't see anywhere else. But back in March, they spotted 3 craft they'd never seen before, about 6 miles up.
We had captured something completely unique.
A triangle, like a stealth bomber, but not a stealth bomber.
The back edge was flat, like a Dorito. It wasn't jagged.
A few weeks later, the same shape was snapped by another spotter in Kansas.
This is when we first saw it, flying in formation from the back side of the airport.
On the day the mystery planes were spotted, Douglas recorded air traffic controllers giving the aircraft a clear lane through the sky. The Air Force confirms nothing. Now he suspects the triangular shape may be a stealth transport.
You could put a dozen or so Navy SEALs in and, have them bail out the back or be inserted in some way without an adversary being any the wiser.
As you can see, the SR91 is a great candidate for this sighting, except for one thing. Just like the S2 Spirit, the SR91 shouldn't be able to hover for any length of time, unless its design is completely different from any form of known aircraft design. So when you take this fact into account, along with the fact that the SR91 is a top secret test plane of which only 3 are suspected to exist, I think that we can safely rule out the SR91 as well. I did find one more other possible explanation for this sighting, and this one annoys me. Check this out. This is a toy kite. It's shaped in the form of a black triangle and it has 9 LED lights on it, just like our UFO. It looks so similar that I had to mention it to you guys, but I have to tell you that I really don't think that this is a kite of any kind. I just don't think that a kite could hang around in the same location for hours like that. Additionally, when this UFO was visible in the daylight, it appeared to be almost silver or metallic because it was reflecting sunlight. If this was a black kite, you would expect it to appear, well, black. I said earlier that this kite annoys me, and I feel the same way about UFO drones. It's not so much the toys, it's how people are going to use them. Because at some point, somebody's going to get a hold of one of these things, and they're going to fly it around and take some video of it, and then they're going to upload it to the internet, and it's going to waste a bunch of time of a person just like me. But you know what? Today isn't that day, and I'm not that guy. Because there's no way that this thing is a toy kite. Anyhow, if it's not a toy kite, and it's not an SR91, it sure doesn't look like any form of balloon that I know of, and it's not any form of conventional aircraft. Well, what does that leave us with? In my opinion, we only have 2 viable options left at this point. It's either a top secret craft of some kind, or it's an alien UFO. I'm really not sure what that thing is, but I'm leaning towards it being a man-made craft of some kind, either a top secret test plane, or perhaps a mock-up of a UFO. The only question is, who would build a mock-up of a UFO, and why? Maybe it's a mock-up for some kind of false flag attack. I don't know, I'm only speculating here. What do you guys think it was that was filmed over California? Do you think it was an alien ship of some kind? Do you think it was a top secret test plane? Do you think it was a toy kite? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you haven't gotten a chance, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to get enough people looking at this UFO sighting that maybe we could figure out what this thing is together. Well guys, for now, that's all I've got on the recent Triangle UFO sighting.
As always, this has been Manny at Area 503, and I wish you all the best until we meet again.
and I am out of here to continue my search for universal truth.